Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation. 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 Psalm TV.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
Ladies and gentlemen, queens and kings of purpose, welcome to the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival 2025, where nearly 100 powerful minds, dreamers, doers, and defenders of humanity will be gathered at Taraba 2025. And I say to them, welcome to the spark before the wildfire and to the heartbeat of a legacy. Prince Homsuk Alex Jibrin is my name. I am the greatest grandson to the 23rd Longwo, third son to the Kanai of the Kwo chiefdom, and a true prince to the house of Mamen. At Tarif, we will not only be telling stories, but we will be reviving the very soul of the people through film. In September 2025, Taraba will rise again as we invite you to experience, explore, and invest in the greatest epic film ever in the Kumbo Legacy Workshop. And this is where ancient tradition will meet with modern transformation. Because at Tarif, we shall be celebrating the strength, wisdom, and heritage of the greatest empire that has ever existed in West African history. And tomorrow, we shall immortalize it in art, film, and in fire. So storytellers, stand tall. The legacy is calling. Will you answer? Welcome to Tarif 2025. Let the revolution begin.
Good evening, you're watching news at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV. Your only source for truth, clarity, and stories that matters. This is the Pulse of the Nation. Follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and catch our live stream on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. Now, let's take a look at tonight's top headline. 6th Brigade Nigerian Army to conduct second biannual combined route march in Jalingo. Experts call for overhaul of Nigeria's electoral system. NECO debunk online recruitment, warn against scam. Najua dissociates the Jukum Wanu Nation from anonymous publication against Taraba State government. Kano warns officers against diversion of malnutrition supplements. Federal government receives $11 million cold chain equipment to boost immunization drive. International news. Tanzanian bars opposition presidential candidate from polls. Business news. Nigerians pay $1.66 million ransom in 1 year as kidnappers' activities strengthen business confidence. Entertainment news. Gospel singer and pastor Nathaniel Bassey has announced plans to mark his 44th birthday with inmates at the Kirikiri Medium Security Prison in Lagos. Sport news. Heartbreak for Eric Chale as Super Eagle goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali doubtful for World Cup qualifier. I am Bridget James, and now the news in full. Residents of Bole, a remote community located just a few miles from Yola South local government area, have raised serious concern over environmental and infrastructural neglects following recent floods and ongoing mining activities in the area. Particularly Ward 3, it has been severely affected by recent flooding, which residents say has left them without basic social amenities, including potable water, electricity, healthcare facilities, and motorable roads. Our correspondent, Ojoma Yusuf, has the details.
My visit to Ole community, one of the remote villages a mile away from Yola South local government area, turns out to be an emotional one. A community without basic social amenities like potable water, healthcare facilities, electricity, and a good motorable road. This one river is their source for water supply. The residents decry the contamination of the river by the Chinese miners from the neighboring village. In an interview with the Hakimi of Bole Yola Party, Alhaji Muhammadu Jingi expressed deep concern over the situation, stating that while there is a dam nearby, residents live in constant fear of it overflowing, which could lead to even more devastating floods.
Na farko lallai ya faru, dam din ya fashe, ya cutar da mutane wanda suke kasa da dam din, ya cutar da su gonakinsu da inda suke samun ruwan sha da sauransu duka ya lalace. To amma na biyu nan wanda ya zo ya fi ƙarfi, ya shiga gidajen jama'a anguwanni a cikin Bole, Sagari Phase 1 da sabon Pegi da Imnu Abbas da Disal Line da Modire da kuma Mare da kuma ta Sansani, wannan duk ruwa ya shiga.
Residents of Bole 3 are appealing for immediate government intervention to address the water contamination, rebuild infrastructure, and provide essential services. All efforts put in place to get through the Commissioner for Environment and Mineral Resources proved abortive, and the Permanent Secretary also declined speaking. The state and federal government have been urged to conduct thorough assessment of the environmental and public health impact of mining activities in the area, and to invest in lasting infrastructure to support affected communities. Ojoma Yusuf, Som TV News, Yola.
The headquarters, 6th Brigade Nigerian Army, will conduct its second biannual combined route march on Friday, 29 August 2025 in Jalingo, Taraba State, in collaboration with other security agencies. The exercise is in line with the Nigerian Army's forecast of events and training directive for the year. The 15-kilometer road march is a routine military activity designed to enhance the operational readiness, physical fitness, resilience, morale, and overall preparedness of troops for any assigned operational tasks. The road march will take place within the Jalingo metropolis. Residents are kindly advised to remain calm and go about their normal activities, as this is a standard training exercise. Stakeholders on Wednesday warned about the state of democracy in Nigeria, calling for urgent sweeping reform to salvage the nation's democratic system. They spoke at the National Action Plan for Electoral Reform Dialogue against organized by the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought in Abuja. In his address, the acting chairman of the Political Commission of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Professor Theophilus Nduberko, he warned that Nigerians' democracy was teetering on the brink of collapse. Nduberko stressed the urgency of the situation, pointing to systematic bad governance and lack of accountability among political leaders. Democracy in this country is at the crossroads of collapse. I'm not being alarmist. The reason why there is a bad governance in the country is the people in office. They don't owe you anything. All they do is wait for the next election. Amass as much wealth as they can. It will be embezzled, stored to rig the next election, he added, drawing parallels with recent military takeovers in West Africa. Nduberko expressed fears that Nigerians may not be immune to similar instability. The attention of the National Association of Jukun Wanu, Najua, has been drawn to a mischievous publications on page 8 of the Taraba News Dailies of Friday, August 2025. With the headline, the Jukun Wanu community of Ibbi kicked as Taraba prepares for local government election. The said publication, written by an unidentified author or organization, falsely claimed to represent the position of the Jukun Wanu people of Ibbi local government area on the political and administrative policies of the Taraba state government. We hereby state categorically that this publication does not in any way reflect the collective views or position of the Jukun Wanu people or Najua, which remains the only legally recognized and authorized body mandated to speak for and on behalf of the Jukun Wanu people worldwide. Najua strongly condemned this faceless and ill-intentioned act of misrepresentation, describing it as a gross misconduct and a deliberate attempt to sow discord between the Taraba state government, the Wanu nation, and the good people of Ibbi local government area. Such actions are self-serving, interest-driven, and inimical to the unity, progress, and development of our people. We urge the Taraba state government, the people of Ibbi local government, and the general public to disregard the said publication as it is unauthorized, unofficial, and the handiwork of individuals or group exploiting the name of our people for selfish political motives while remaining cowardly anonymous. In the interest of peace and to prevent further polarization of our community, Najua, that demands that the author of this mischievous publication immediately retract it and issue an open letter of apology to both the Taraba state government and the Jukun Wanu people through the same medium used. This must be done swiftly, as failure to do so will leave Najua with no option but to deploy all necessary measures to trace, expose, and ensure that those responsible are apprehended and held accountable for this gross misconduct. Najua reaffirmed its unwavering support for the Taraba state government under the able leadership of His Excellency Dr. Agba Kefas, and commits to continued collaboration with all stakeholders to ensure peace, inclusiveness, and sustainable development in Ibbi local government area, Taraba State, and Nigeria at large. The National Examination Council has cautioned Nigerians over a fraudulent online recruitment exercise circulating on the internet. Aziz Sani, NACO's Director of Information and Public Relations, he said in a statement on Wednesday that the council has no plans to hire new staff. He described the scheme as a work of fraudsters seeking to deceive unsuspecting members of the public. Sani stated, the attention of the National Examination Council has been drawn to an online publication purporting that the council is planning to recruit new staff. The council enjoined members of the public to disregard the publication as it has no plans to recruit new staff. The publication is the product of the imagination of fraudsters who are out to defraud unsuspecting members of the public, NACO, under the able leadership of the Registration Chief Executive, Professor Dantani Ibrahim Washishi. It will always adhere to due process and relevant extant laws when the federal government approves staff recruitment. The council urged Nigerians to exercise caution and verify all recruitment information through official NACO channels to avoid falling victims to scam. The Kano State government has issued a stern warning to nutrition coordinators against diverting or selling nutrition supplements intended for malnutrition children, stressing that anyone caught engaging in such acts will face arrest and prosecution. Dr. Abubakar Labaran Yusuf, the State Commissioner for Health, announced on Wednesday during the MIYCN and MMS close-out and dissemination meeting with nutrition officers in Kano. The meeting reviewed the impact of the MIYCN and MMS intervention in the state following the conclusion of activities by the FHI 360 Alive and Thrive Nigerian project. The commissioner emphasized that the state will not tolerate any action that undermine efforts to improve the health and well-being of mothers, children, and adolescents. The federal government has received cold chain equipment worth $11 million to build vaccine storage, distribution, and immunization across Nigeria. The equipment includes 1,653 solar direct-derived refrigerators, 165 sets of spare parts, and temperature monitoring devices. Speaking at the official handover ceremony of the equipment in Abuja on Wednesday, the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Health Care Development Agency, Dr. Muyi Aina, said the initiative was supported by Gavi, UNICEF, and the federal government. Aina emphasized that delivery of the equipment is timely, considering the series of immunization campaigns currently being conducted across the country. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission, Makurdi Zonal Command, has confirmed the arrest of 37 suspected internet fraudsters in a sting operation carried out in Ukari local government area of Taraba State. According to the EFCC, the raid was based on credible intelligence linking the suspect to cyber-related crimes. All 37 suspects were apprehended at a single location in Ukari town. Though unconfirmed, multiple sources suggest the arrest took place in the student area of the university community. Items recovered during the operations included mobile phones, laptops, and other electronic devices believed to have been used for fraudulent activities. In its official statement, the EFCC described the operation as smooth and sharp, adding that no resistance was encountered during the arrest. The Commission also reiterated its commitment to stamping out cybercrime and financial fraud across the country. The suspects are currently in custody and undergoing profiling. They would be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. Nigerians' flood relief campaign received a major boost on Wednesday as the Chinese government donated $1 million to support victims in the northern part of the country. The financial support was formalized at a signing ceremony in Abuja between the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Bagudu, and the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yu Donghuang. Bagudu praised the gesture, describing it as a timely boost to national efforts to provide relief materials and rebuild communities. We firmly believe that today's signing ceremony will open new avenues for collaborations, strengthening our strategic partnership for the mutual benefit of our people, Bagudu said. The Minister of Water, Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsef, he has warned that Nigerians' development progress will remain incomplete unless every citizen has access to safe water. Speaking at the launch of the National Water Quality Advocacy Campaign in Abuja on Wednesday, Utsef, represented by the ministry's Director of Water Quality Control and Sanitation, Elizabeth Ugo, commended Nestle Nigerian PLC for its initiative, saying it aligned with government's effort to provide clean and sustainable water. Water is life, yet the safety of this life-sustaining resource remains a critical challenge in our country and across the globe. Contaminated water continues to be a leading cause of preventable diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, and typhoid that threatens not only public health but also our productivity, education, and overall development. In a related development, the All Progressive Grand Alliance has applauded the Independent National Electoral Commission for what it described as a transparent and credible conduct of the August 16th Anambra South senatorial by-election. The national chairman of AGBA, Sil Ezunkwe, he stated this at the press conference held on Wednesday at the party's National Secretariat complex in Abuja. The successful conduct of the said by-election has yet again marked INEC as an important pillar of our democracy and further demonstrated the institution's commitment to upholding democratic principles and the will of the Nigerian people. The election showed a significant milestone in INEC's journey towards entrenching true democratic change in our nation and their resolve to ensure that the voices of Nigerians are heard through credible election, he stated. Furthermore, nutrition experts in Abia State, they have urged pregnant women, nursing mothers, and children to consume health diet prepared with fortified vegetable oil to support proper growth and development. Dr. David Olayemi appealed on Wednesday in Umuahia during the town hall meeting organized by the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition to advocate for phasing out unbranded editable bunk oil. He emphasized the importance of a balanced diet, noting that meals should include the 6 major food groups in appropriate proportions. People must ensure that the food they consume contains the essential mineral and vitamins required for healthy living, Olayemi said. In a similar development, a group of ex-political office holders in Kogi State has made a passionate appeal to Governor Ahmed Ododo to pay the balance of 2.7 billion naira in arrears of their salaries and allowances. The group chairman, Musa Abdullahi, and secretary, Mohammed Omale, met the appeal at the press conference on Wednesday in Lokoja. According to them, the group, which comprises former local government chairman, vice chairman, councillors, and other political office holders, was formed in 2013 to fight for their right after the Kogi State High Court unjustly dissolved the council. Abdullahi said the group's ordeal began in 2014 when the Kogi State High Court annulled the elections of the 21 local government chairmen and other political office holders. The Anambra State House of Assembly has suspended the member representing Ayamelum constituency, Bernard Odemezu, for 3 months. Odemezu was suspended over a message and content he shared on social media, which the House described as damaging content. The lawmaker, elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, had shared on his social media handles, alleging that his constituency, Ayamelum, is marginalized in the area of constituency allowance. But reacting to the post, the House first passed the resolutions to summon Odemezu at its plenary last Tuesday, following a matter of urgent public importance move by the members representing Agwata 2 constituency, Tony Mobikel, and second by the chief whip and member representing Ihiala 1 constituency, Jute Nkobili. Ex-President Goodluck Jonathan has called for sweeping reform in Nigeria's electoral system to strengthen democracy, enhance accountability, and ensure the legitimacy of elections. Speaking on Wednesday at the National Action Plan for Electoral Reform Dialogue, organized by the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, Jonathan emphasized the need for structural changes to improve the nation's democratic processes. Jonathan, represented by the Executive Director, Goodluck Jonathan Foundation, and Iyonu, acknowledged that while Nigerians has made progress since returning to democratic rule in 1999, the electoral process remains riddled with flaws. Nigeria has made notable progress since our return to democratic rule, but we must acknowledge that our electoral system still faces significant challenges. If we are truly committed to democracy, we must be bold enough to reform the process to better reflect the will of the people and the principle of justice, accountability, and inclusion, he said. Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo on Wednesday paid tributes to the state's founding fathers and past leaders, commending their vision and sacrifices that have shaped Anambra's growth over the past 34 years. In a post on his Facebook page, Soludo described Anambra as a divine project and a bright promise etched into the map of Nigeria, noting that the state has consistently punched above its weight despite being one of the smallest in the country by land mass. Today we celebrate not just in commemoration, but in reflective rededication from our first military administration, Navy Captain Joseph Abulu, to my immediate predecessor, Chief Willie Maduoburu Chukwu Abionu. Anambra has continued on a trajectory of remarkable growth, he wrote. Soludo highlighted the state achievements in producing some of Nigerians' brightest minds, successful entrepreneurs, and visionary leaders. A deadly confrontation occurred on Wednesday in the Mandilos area of Lagos, Eastland, leaving one person dead after a stabbing incident. The Lagos State Police Command, Ikeja, through CSP Benjamin Hundeyin, Police Public Relations Officer, clarified in a statement made available to Punch online that there was no tribal clash or ethnic conflicts at Balagun Market, where the incident took place. According to the police, the Lagos State Police Command hereby wished to inform the general public that there was no tribal clash or disturbance between any ethnic groups and others inside Balogun Market today. There was an incident of a free-for-all fight between some hoodlums and miscreants in the Balagun Market in early hours of today around 11 a.m. During the fight, one Ebuka Adindu from Abia State stabbed one Sadiq Ibrahim from Kogi State to death, and he said Ebuka Adino in turn stabbed himself on the shoulder and became unconscious. He is currently under arrest in the hospital where he is being treated. We'll take a short break now, but there's much more ahead right here on Sound TV. Please stay tuned.
Hearts full of thanksgiving Thanksgiving, we mark the 34th year of our beloved Taraba State. This day is a joyful celebration of the cultural heritage and unyielding spirit with which God has blessed our people. We lift our leaders, His Excellency Governor Aku Kefas, his deputy Alhaji Aminu Alkali, and our Speaker, Right Honorable John Kizito Bonzena. We give thanks to their stewardship and implore the Almighty to renew their strength. The fruits of development we reap are sown by many hands. Let us continue in unity, upholding our leaders' godly initiatives for education, agriculture, and peace. We fervently pray the Lord grants them divine wisdom, sound health, and His righteous guidance as they shepherd our state to a future filled with promise. Blessed anniversary, Taraba State. Announcer, Reverend Dr. Philip Michael Dupa, Dean of the Cabinet, Southern Conference of the United Methodist Church, and Chairman, Northern Christian Religious Leaders Assembly, Taraba State.
The Executive Chairman, Taraba Internal Revenue Service, Brigadier General Retired Jeremiah Aliu Faransa, on behalf of the management and staff of the service, heartily felicitate with His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas, the Deputy Governor Alhaji Aminu Abdullahi Alkali, the SGS Chief Barrister Gebon Timothy Katabs, the Speaker, Taraba State House of Assembly, Right Honorable John Kizito Bonzena, and members of the State House of Assembly, the State Executive Council, the Judiciary, and the good people of Taraba State on the occasion of Taraba 34th anniversary. As we celebrate this milestone, we reflect on the journey of growth, resilience, and unity that has brought us this far. Taraba State continues to stand tall as the nature's gift to the nation, blessed with a rich culture, diversity, and abundant resources. The Taraba State Internal Revenue Service remain committed to supporting the vision of building a prosperous Taraba through initiatives that will boost the internally generated revenue for more infrastructural development, quality health care services, agricultural revolution, good educational system, and lots more. May this 34th anniversary inspire greater peace, unity, and progress for our dear state. Happy 34th anniversary, Your Excellency and the good people of Taraba State. Signed, Brigadier General Retired Jeremiah Aliu Faransa, Executive Chairman, Taraba State Internal Revenue Service.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast, and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
Welcome back. Coming up next are the international business, sports, and entertainment news. On the international news, Tanzania's Electoral Commission has disqualified a presidential candidate running against President Samia Suluhu Hassan. The opposition politician party said on Wednesday ahead of poll expected later this year. Authorities in the East African country have increasingly cracked down on the opposition, drawing criticism from international rights groups and monitors ahead of the election in October. The Alliance for Change and Transparency is the third largest party in Tanzania and has nominated Luhaga Mpina as its presidential candidate. Mpina had collected the nomination form from the Electoral Commission and was supposed to return them on Wednesday, but was blocked at the entrance. President Donald Trump said Tuesday he will seek the death penalty for murderers in Washington as part of a crackdown on what he calls out-of-control crime in the U.S. Capitol. If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we are going to be seeking the death penalty, Trump said. At the cabinet meeting in the White House, it's a very strong preventive and everybody that's heard it agrees with it. Trump said at the cabinet meeting, The death penalty move comes after republication. Trump deploys the National Guard to the Democrat-run in Washington and took federal control of the city's police departments earlier this month. On business news, between July 2024 and June 2025, Nigerians kidnapped for ransom epidemic hardened into a structured, profit-driven industry that now rivals legitimate business activities in scale. According to SBM Intelligence, at least 4,722 people were adopted in 1997 incidents across the country, with kidnappers demanding nearly 48 billion naira and receiving verified payments of 2.57 billion naira. That's equivalent to $1.66 million. The report warns that ransom payments are not only draining household wealth, but also weakening business confidence and stunning investments. The crisis is increasingly shaping Nigerians' volatile currency environment, despite a surge in ransom sum. The naira depreciation means kidnappers earn less in dollars terms. For example, 653.7 million naira collected in 2022 equal to $1.13 million at prevailing rate. But the $2.57 billion naira obtained in the last year translates to only $1.66 million. Criminal groups are now inflating ransom demands in naira to offset currency erosion, essentially minoring corporate behavior in a high inflation economy. On entertainment news, gospel singer and pastor Nathaniel Bassey, he has announced plans to mark his 44th birthday with inmates at the Kirikiri medium security prison in Lagos. Sharing the news via his Instagram account, Bassey stated that the birthday celebration will feature a special one-day edition of the Hallelujah Challenge. The gospel singer revealed plans to mark his birthday by leading the inmates in a vibrant worship experience. Sharing the news via his Instagram account, Bassey stated that the birthday celebration will feature a special one-day edition of the Hallelujah Challenge. The gospel singer revealed plans to mark his birthday by leading the inmates in a vibrant worship experience. He wrote, "Tomorrow for my birthday, I praise and celebrate with my brethren in prison." The Hallelujah Challenge is a worship movement started by Nathaniel Bassey in 2017, which has grown into one of the largest online prayer and worship gatherings in Africa. The challenge brings together thousands of believers to worship for 1 hour each night, often leading to testimonies of healing, deliverance, and answered prayers. And finally in sport, Nigerians' preparations for next month's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers have suffered a setback after first-choice goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali picked up an injury while in club action for Chippa United. The 29-year-old was stretched off in the 35th minute of Chippa United's Premier Soccer League, encountered against Richard Bay on Tuesday night. The severity of the injury is yet to be confirmed, but the timing leaves him in doubt for Nigerians' must-win qualifiers. Nwabali has been a mainstay for the Super Eagles since his standout performance at the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, where Nigerians finished runners-up. The matches, scheduled for September 6th in Uyo and September 10th in Bulforthend, they are critical to Nigerians' qualification hopes after a shaky start to the campaign. If Nwabali is ruled out, head coach Eric Chale would be forced to rely on the other goalkeepers in the squads. And that's where we wrap up tonight's broadcasts. But before we go, A quick recap of our top stories. We brought to you that residents of Bolei, a remote community relocated just a few miles from Yola South local government area, they have raised serious concern over environmental and infrastructural neglect following recent floods and ongoing mining activities in the area. The Headquarters 6th Brigade Nigerian Army will conduct its second biannual combined route march on Friday, 29 August 2025 in Jalingo, Taraba State, in collaboration with other security agencies. The attention of the National Association of Jukun Wanu Najua has been drawn to a mischievous publication on page 8 of the Taraba News Dailies of Friday, August 2025, with the headlines, "The Jukun Wanu community of Ibi kicked as Taraba prepares for local government election." Stakeholders on Wednesday warned about the state of democracy in Nigeria, calling for urgent sweeping reform to salvage the nation's democratic system. The Kano State government has issued a stern warning to nutrition coordinators against diverting or selling nutrition supplements intended for malnourished children, stressing that anyone caught engaging in such acts will face arrest and prosecution. On international news, Tanzanian Electoral Commission has disqualified the presidential candidate running against President Samia Suluhu Hassan. On business news, between July 2024 and June 2025, Nigerians kidnapped for ransom epidemic hardens into structured profit-driven industry that now rivals legitimate business activities in scale. Entertainment news. Gospel singer and pastor Nathaniel Bassey has announced plans to mark his 44th birthday with inmates at the Kirikiri Medium Security Prison in Lagos. And finally, on sports, we brought to you that Nigerian preparations for next month's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers have suffered a setback after first-choice goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali picked up on injury while in club. Stay with us for more insightful program and timely update on Psalm TV. I am Bridget James. Thank you for joining us. From all of us here, I'm wishing you peace, progress, and purpose. Thank you for watching and good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, queens and kings of purpose, welcome to the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival 2025, where nearly 100 powerful minds, dreamers, doers, and defenders of humanity will be gathered at Taraba 2025. And I say to them, welcome to the spark before the wildfire and to the heartbeat of a legacy. Prince Homsuk Alex Jibrin is my name. I am the greatest grandson to the 23rd Longwo, third son to the Kanai of the Ko chiefdom, and a true prince to the house of Mamen. At Tarif, we will not only be telling stories, but we will be reviving the very soul of the people through film. In September 2025, Taraba will rise again as we invite you to experience, explore, and invest in the greatest epic film ever in the Kumbo Legacy Workshop. And this is where ancient tradition will meet with modern transformation. Because at Tarif, we shall be celebrating the strength, wisdom, and heritage of the greatest empire that has ever existed in West African history. And tomorrow, we shall immortalize it in art, film, and in fire. So storytellers, stand tall. The legacy is calling. Will you answer? Welcome to Tarif 2025. Let the revolution begin.